Welcome to Leaning Towards Six Sigma. In this Quality Talk series, part 5, I'm going to deal with Cynefin framework for decision making. So it has to be pronounced as Cynefin. It's a Welsh word that translates as place or habitat. However, it can also be used to describe the elements of our situation. This framework describes the elements of our situation, whatever that situation may be, which we'll deal with, and personal history that influence our thoughts and decisions in ways we don't understand. So, for example, every one of us encounter time and again to solve problem, professional or personal problems. What is a problem? What is the situation needs for our attention? What kind of an action to be taken and what should be the result is always a challenging. When we apply our approach to a problem solving, not every situation is same because we have to change the approach. For that, you need to understand the situation better. So hence we need different approach to different situations. Since the actions and interventions are different for every scenario, we need different approach. So, but which approach to choose for which situation, that needs to be structured. That's exactly what I am going to deal with this Cynefin framework to arrive at right solutions and to make no mistakes.
So, scholar David Snowden used the word to describe a framework he developed in 1999 based on the concepts from knowledge management. And he published this framework in the year 2007 in one of the issues in Harvard Business Review. The whole point is, it's just an introduction at this point, Cynefin framework. This has got four categories of situations: complex, chaotic, complicated, and obvious. So why these are all important? Because not every situation is same, and so the approach should be different because you need to achieve the end in mind. So these situations are supposed to be recognized by the decision makers and professionals who takes decisions. So that's how these are all classified. Let's look at it, how these different situations are described with examples.
The first situation is the chaotic situation. So the description of chaotic situations are as follows. One, what will be the result, effect not known, which means there is a situation. What will be the results or the effect not known? Very difficult or constrained to make predictions about the future, or any random things can happen. We don't have any previous experience to compare and then arrive at certain conclusions. These are the characteristics of a chaotic situation. Let's look at some more examples for this.
So how to deal with chaotic situation? First step is act, second is sense, and then respond. So let me explain. So act means, for example, as it says, chaotic situation, which means there are many variables happening. We don't know what's happening. There are many things happening at the same time, and we can't predict the future and so on. So the first step is to find urgent and important matters. There are many things, so we need to classify between urgent and important for act. I'll give an example. Next step is sense it. Since you have already taken an action, you classified it urgent and important from among the many things happening, and then you act on it, and then you sense it whether the results are showing up. Since you have classified and picked the one which are important and urgent, and then you acted, so what is the result? That's the second step. The final step would be respond. What to respond here? It's not about there is a situation and respond here, about the result, and then you respond. The results are showing up, it's good, in line with the intention, then you can respond. If not, please refine it. That's a way to go ahead. For example, a crisis situation is a clear chaotic situation. Pandemic, when 2019, when every organization, personally, professionally, organization wide, countries across, hit by this pandemic corona, and that was a chaotic situation. Nobody knew how to deal with whether to go for employment or sit at home. If you sit at home, there were processions and people protested, and we didn't know how to handle it. So that's the way the whole year gone, isn't it? And then later we learned it. The whole point is, whenever there is a chaotic situation, please understand the situation and then classify between urgent and important. So later people started learning it and then said, okay, fine, we need to deal with it one by one, and people can work from home. From the organizational standpoint point of view, people can work from home. How many people we can retain, which are the ones we can cut down, and we were able to take actions. Even at the personal level, we started learning how to manage our finances, how to manage our emotions, and so on, people, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly the chaotic situation. Classify important and urgent, deal with, and sense it, whether it makes sense, whether it results produced, and then go to the next step called respond, and then you change it. And the response means yes, it works. For example, people working from remotely, working from home, is it producing result? Yes, better than people coming to office. So which means it works, and then go to the next. So you keep refining it. That's exactly the situation called chaotic situation. Pandemic is an example.
Finally, a quick takeaway from this particular vlog. I have dealt with one out of four different situations. Rest of the situations I will deal with in my next vlog. So to summarize, situations are different. We dealt with the first situation called chaotic situation, and each situation calls for different approach because each one is very different. That's why the Cynefin framework helps for professionals and decision makers to understand the situation and then approach to find a solution. So let's explore quality. I will come back with my other three different situations, how to deal with examples in my next vlog. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Until we meet with another interesting vlog, keep exploring, leaning towards Six Sigma.